So Ducati says that you can change the oil every 7,000 miles. Depending on how hard you ride, I like to do mine every 3,000. It's pretty simple. All the parts for this oil change can be found below in the video description. So go ahead and click on those. They're from Amazon. You need an oil filter, and then you also need, this is for the oil plug, you need a 10mm Allen wrench. Sometimes you can change the oil screen when you do the oil change. This Ducati says you need to do it like every 3 oil changes. I'll make another video how to do that. Warm up the bike first, not so that it's super hot so it'll burn you, but still so that the oil will be liquid enough to pour out. So there's the oil plug, and you just kind of see the oil just draining out of there. It's about 3 quarts of oil, so just be prepared for that. See that wire going into the engine right above my hand and to the right? That's where the temperature sensor and the oil screen is. This is the oil plug, and that is a magnet right there, so clean off all the little metal shavings. If you have a significant amount of shavings, I would recommend changing the screen right now. Mine was pretty good. Here's the oil filter. You can use a wrench to get that off. Once again, the oil filter is down in the video description. They're pretty inexpensive. There, a little bit more oil will pour out when you're removing the oil filter. Also, keep in mind that the oil will not drain completely out of the bike unless you tip it up right. So tip it up and let the oil kind of go towards the drain plug, because the drain plug is on the upper end of the bike, which is interesting. Anyway, before you put the oil filter in, take a little bit of oil and put it around the seal. This will help that the oil filter will stick tight and not leak once you have it on there. Just like this. And then screw it in tight. Remember, if you are going to use your wrench, don't tighten it as hard as you can with the wrench, because it will destroy the oil filter. With me, I just tighten it in as hard as I can by my hand, and that's worked for me in the past. Nothing leaks out, oil filter never comes off. Just tighten it as tight as you possibly can with your hand. Alright, to test to see how much oil is in the bike, mine took exactly 3 quarts, but make sure the bike is on a level surface, and you can tilt the bike towards you so that it's straight up and down, and you can see the oil level line between those 2 lines. Alright, and once you get all the oil in there, there's 2 ways of doing it. One is get the oil in, turn on the bike, let it cycle through, the oil will go inside that filter, and then recheck the oil after the bike's been on for about a minute or 2, so after the oil's done cycling. You can also just before you put the oil filter on, you can also just pour some oil inside of that before you screw it in, but either way. I usually do mine, just fill it up, let the bike run for a second, and then recheck the oil levels after I've ridden around for a little bit. Anyway, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. Like this video if it helped you, and don't forget to subscribe. And I've made it a little bit easier, like I mentioned before, just all the parts you need for this oil change are listed down in the video description. Anyway, click below to subscribe. Thanks.